There you go. Hey guys, how's it all going here? Our mountain thing didn't start up. Alright. Should have just left it. Alright, you guys can start talking. We're on live.
Hey guys, what's happening? Justin Van Ferrari here, Waypoint Outdoor Adventures.
Tyler Wood with Tyler Wood Bushcraft. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, of course, me, Rolling Homestead.
Got lots of people in the house. Shout out to my lovely wife and my son who are watching at home, probably in bed, right?
Not the worst angle for this.
Oh, come on now.
Good to see you, Mary. Yeah, I did. It was a crazy adventure. We had some crazy stuff happen on day 3. So, for all you guys that are just joining, good to see you. Welcome over here on Mark's channel, Rolling Homestead Wild Edibles. We just came back from our 7-day challenge, and let me tell you, there was a lot of challenges that came into play, right, Justin?
Absolutely. Firewood. Firewood was the biggest challenge. Just keeping and cutting enough. I should have been born a lumberjack. That was my comment in the middle of the week because I felt like I was chopping down the whole forest just to stay warm.
They're live. Good to see you, Phil. Everything is spicy. We are live, and we are live here on YouTube. So everyone, make sure to hit that like button, share this out.
Absolutely.
And we got some crazy stuff. We got some crazy stories. You guys are going to be in for one special treat because we've had we had a lot of challenges. As Justin was saying with firewood, I think 90% of our time out there was just cutting wood. So all 7-day videos.
Wait, hold on. If you say that, they're not going to want to watch the episode. Who wants to watch people's? What he's talking about is wood, just for a campfire, and then the other, like 60% of the time, was those guys sawing logs in their sleep.
You guys are just gonna see 7 days of cutting wood. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing. Nope. That's all you guys get.
Oh, come on now.
Mark, we had this cool backdrop ready for you. Instead, we got this waterfall image, so you'll have to deal with that.
I'm going to try to get the other one back on here, but I got to figure out why.
Good to see you, Wisconsin Food Practice. Micro Homesteaders.
Hey, Merle, good to see you.
Box It Outdoors, Nicholas Green. Good to see you guys.
Rolling with the homies. Yeah, we are exhausted. I know I'm going to bed early tonight, and I'm sure you can tell by some of our faces. We got a little wind burn and that snow.
Yeah, wind and sun. There's a couple days where the sun didn't shine, but when the sun did shine, it was pretty intense.
Wow, Dragon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, buddy. Thanks for the
Nice.
super chat. Good to see everybody. Yeah, it was a rough, cold, beyond cold time. There's some great videos that will be coming out here to show our near-death experiences, our laughter, our shivering, all that fun stuff. We're gonna actually get to the actual temp that was out there last night, and I'm gonna look at that right now. Thank you so much, Dragon, for the super chat. Can you say ghost pepper dry? I got a whole bag for him waiting to go home with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, snow blindness is a thing. Yeah, we had their sunglasses for some of the time, and yeah. I was up in the mountains in Colorado back in November, and there's like it was just the sun got so intense off the snow, like I would close my eyes and it would just burn, like my eyes were sunburnt. So that's no fun. Didn't get quite that bad out this time.
Yeah, I think there was.
So the actual temp on Monday was negative 17. Am I right? Is that Monday? Yep. Tuesday it was actually 13. Wednesday was 6. And Thursday was a negative 11. And Friday was negative 22. Mm-hmm. So the official temp for that night was negative 22 below.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Nick, you're asking, and let me tell you, right around day 3, day 4.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! All right, go for it.
Day 3 or day 4, there is some pretty crazy stuff that happened. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys are gonna have to wait for that video to come out, but yeah, there was a need to change my pants during one of these during one of the days out there, so. You guys can look forward to that.
And actually, to verify and to back him up, the following day, me and Justin were down in the swamp, and we seen the tracks. So
there was one more night that I heard a wolf howl later on in the adventure, but I can't remember what night that was.
Thanks to everybody for coming in tonight on a live stream. It's good to be back. Like I said before, you guys are going to want to pay attention to when these videos come out because there's some gorgeous shots. We have some really awesome drone footage. We have some just cool things that you guys are going to want to see. Some of the builds, they're amazing. And we had a lot of fun out there, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad to be home next to my nice wood stove, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you guys want to see this footage, like I said, make sure you're subscribed to
Waypoint Outdoor Adventures,
Tyler Wood Bushcraft,
To me, Rolling Homestead.
You know, part of the challenge was having 3 guys with 3 cameras, sometimes trying to capture the same thing and staying out of the way and trying to stay out of each other's way. The camp that we were in, because of the massive amount of snow, we had to shovel out. We only shoveled out the space that we needed. We didn't have like just a huge amount of room. And so there were a couple times, like everywhere I'd put my camera, there was a tripod behind someone's head, or there was, you know, and sometimes it's not just 3 guys with 3 cameras. Sometimes there were 6 or 7 cameras out there, you know, trying to do so. We really went to town just trying to bring you the greatest footage of the greatest adventure we possibly could.
There was so much recording that didn't actually get on film because dealing with those cold temperatures, cameras freezing up. We would put a battery in, brand new, 100% power. We put it in the camera. By the time we hit the record button, that battery is at 5 to 10%, and you get maybe 2 minutes out there. And also the cold weather kind of freezes up the little mirror that's kind of inside. Like for my camera, there's a little mirror inside there that kind of flips down to shoot the video, and with it being so cold, the components inside the camera didn't want to work. So a lot of my footage is actually going to be from my my GoPro, because I just had so much issues with SD card errors, battery errors. I bought brand new batteries for this trip and they weren't even working. Just all kinds of hectic stuff when it comes to filming. There was at one point Mark was walking around like a Christmas tree. He had so many cameras and cords, and it was just absolutely crazy.
Yep. Hey, I want to say thanks to everybody that's in here. So I'm going to go through the roll call real quick. I see that Nicholas is in here. I see Crazy Ann's in here. McCoy, great to see you. Trail Trash, good to see you. Fox is in the house. Get her done, Granny. Everything spicy. Virtual Fred, I think that's Fred. What else is we got in here? I saw some Merles in here. Of course, Dragon, thank you so much for coming in. Mary is in the house. Woken Veiled, Mary, good to see you. Wisconsin Food Practice, good to see you. Lindsay's in the house. And I think I'm going back. Oh, of course, you got Waypoint Outdoors, and you have Tyler Wood. So
we're here.
We're all in here. Yeah. So I'm so glad that we were able to one thing, come back all safe. That was a huge plus. I think you'll understand the concepts of what frozen really means. Tyler will have some. This is Grace. Good to see you. Grace Martin's in the house.
Good to see you, Grace Martin.
Yeah, we made it back.
Yeah, we literally got in, this afternoon?
Yep.
What time was that?
A little after.
Nice, and we're all clean, all showered.
Yes, my beard. Oh, my beard, let me tell you.
My beard had developed this, like, colic. This, like, the shape of my jacket, because I always had my hood up so much throughout the adventure. It was just, like, right here.
I had a froze beard. I don't think my beard became thawed out until we finally got back, and it's just been brutal.
So tell them about, like, I had a frozen zipper on my sleeping bag. You had an experience in your sleeping bag.
I did. After spoiler alert, because I said I'd go 7 days without a sleeping bag. After the first 3 days, I did make it 3 days without a sleeping bag, but let me tell you, those 3 days were rough, and it is no joke out there. But when I did use my sleeping bag, my stitches, it got caught and it ripped, so I had to stitch up my sleeping bag at, like, I don't know, probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's about negative 12, negative 13 degrees out, so it was that was brutal. But also because it broke again, and I covered my face with it, which is something you should never do in those kind of temperatures. Breathing creates condensation, and then with the bag being wet and laying across my beard, it actually froze to my beard. And having to rip that off and pull out some of my hair, my beard's not as thick as it was when I went in there.
Muskie Hands, thank you for coming in and joining us. Yeah, we had some. There were some rough and close calls, and a couple dangerous calls. Someone in the group got what is called frost nip, and was actually very close to hypothermia. So you guys will have to check it out. It is on videotape, so you get to see that. What else did we have that was hilarious? Oh, Dragon asked me about the Christmas tree. Put the star on top of the Christmas tree. I had camera on my chest. I had a camera on my head. I was carrying a camera because I didn't know which one was going to go out. So I figured one of the three's got to work.
Yeah, we had a lot of us. We had issues with our big DSLR cameras, and so for me, my phone became a primary camera, and the other camera became the backup. Got some sweet drone shots, drone footage. Yeah. I'm excited to show you guys that. We flew the drone a lot of different places, a lot of different times, in the snow, the sunrise, the sunset. It's pretty epic.
I'll tell you one thing though, the worst part of the whole trip is crawling out of your bag at midnight, 2 in the morning, because you got to go and use the restroom. That just about... Oh, man. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You want to talk about cold.
Trail Trash has a bet. He's placing a bet on who had the frost nip.
Guess you guys are going to have to find out and watch all 3 of our channels and all videos.
May or may not be who you expect.
He says no good. He says, Mr. No Sleeping Bag.
Sounds like a wild trip. Stay outside and cold is dangerous. Yeah, that's why you don't see a lot of these challenges on YouTube. I mean, people go out and have some of these adventures, but to go out and have these adventures and also to film it, that's a whole nother level of crazy. Yeah. I mean, how many times did you refilm the same episode or the same segment, because you wanted, not only did you just want to do it and accomplish it yourself, you wanted to bring the audience and bring all you guys along. So it was like there's so many times, oh, I forgot to hit record, oh, my battery's dead, oh, whatever the issue. And so we literally, there were times like you're not even going to see it, you won't even tell, but we had to do things, and that slowed down the process so much. But we got so much done, we got so much built. We got a lot accomplished, and it's going to be awesome. You are, like these guys said, every single one of us approached it from a different angle. We did different things. There's some overlap, right? We're in the frame together sometimes, but a lot of the times we're out and we're just we're just kind of doing our own thing, and it's specific to our channel. So if you only watch Tyler, you're going to miss a lot of the adventure with Mark and myself, and vice versa. So check out all our channels.
Guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you guys like what you see. Carolyn, thank you for coming in.
Good to see you, Carolyn.
Who's the guy in the corner? Is that me? I'm the guy in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm
Justin Ferrari.
Guy in the corner.
I don't see that one. Where do you see that one?
Who's the guy? It was Get Her Done Granny. Who's the
Oh.
guy? I'm Justin Van Ferrari. I'm Waypoint Outdoor Adventures. I'm so thankful these guys let me in on their show. I mean, they've been planning this for quite a while, and I messaged Tyler around Christmas and said, hey, if you need another guy, let me know. I'm interested, and we started talking, and it worked out great. I mean, having the three of us there, I think we all had very unique gifts and skills, and a very diverse skill set. I think it made for great.
F-Pace Outdoors.
adventure.
Thanks for showing up in the chat. Great to see you.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, there was so much more that we wanted to do, but I mean, I hope the camera really shows just how much snow is out there, because there is times that I'm chest high in snow. Mark was saying, there's about 4 to 5 feet of snow out there, and we're walking on it. And in the very beginning, when it's all packed down, and I'm just like, this ain't nothing. This is. As soon as we got into that cedar swamp area, these guys would look around and be like, where's Tyler? And I'd pop up out of the snow real quick, like, hey, here I am. I'm the only one that didn't have snowshoes, so I was trekking through 3 to 5 feet of snow with 2 massive cedar trees to build my shelter with. And yeah, I mean, my legs are going to be like the size of Hulk by the time it catches up. So
I'll tell you what, that was, asked me before, Justin, what was I think the most important piece of gear I had out there. I'm going to say it had to be my snowshoes, because, 280 pounds walking through there, and there's a couple times where I was really sinking with the snowshoes because I hit a hole.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it's not 4 feet of snow over the entire landscape, but underneath you don't even know what's down there. And so it's just snow just level, makes everything look level, but you step and you're like walking on a tree. You don't even know that you're walking on a tree until you get to the other side.
Good to see you, RG. Glad you came in here.
I would not have been able to build all the projects and all the stuff I built had I not had snowshoes. There's no way I could have hauled all those. There was one day I hauled just a massive amount of logs this thick around to go build my shelter, and there's no way without those snowshoes. But by the time I had tracks going all over, because you're finding, I'm not cutting down live trees, I'm cutting down dead trees, and so like you're searching throughout the whole area, and so there's tracks that led every which way by the end of the week.
If you guys understand what a cedar swamp is it goes like this. All right, so there's root base, there's the cedar trees are all over the place. There's these pockets in there, and you can't see them. And when you step in one is when you find them. I've got a spot in there, and I got it on camera. Then I had Tyler go back there, and I said, hey, walk through there once. I want to see something. I want to tape you. And then he sunk all the way up to his waist, and I'm laughing. But I went all the way up to my front pocket, and I had snowshoes on. That's the crazy thing, is that them pockets are in there, and it just takes that light snow and it laces it over and keeps filling it in. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest challenges for me, was not having the snowshoes off the bat, and just tracking through there and hauling up trees and trying to build my shelter. It took me, I think, twice as long compared to these other guys with their snowshoes and stuff. So I had a horrible rough start into this trip. So, but I think I redeemed myself at the halfway point, if not later on in the series. And I came out here expecting to take this on with no issues and be just fine, but it was total opposite. I mean, I struggled with a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't struggle with, and
You know, you said before too is the cold is different here.
Yeah.
You know, the cold gets down into your bones where, you know, you're sitting there where you don't want to get up. Like the biggest thing was you have to make yourself eat. You have to make yourself drink water.
Yeah.
And not only that, is the creek is so far in that deep snow, it's easier just to go and melt snow. Well, guess what? It takes a little while to melt snow, so you don't have that water on demand that you were really originally looking for. We go out there one day and everything is wide open, and 2 days later everything is froze tight. So,
right. Yeah, damn, it's 85. William, good to see you.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Yeah, everything about this was just challenging.
Merle's asking who's the one to get the video up first. So we're gonna be strategic about that. I think we're gonna kind of work together to release the series, and it won't be too terribly long. But we'll start getting it out there. But we want to make sure it's as well done as we possibly can do. So
yeah, Dragon, snow is 90% air. Exactly. It was, you know, the old saying goes, a foot of snow is only an inch of water. Well, you got to take a foot of snow, melt it down, and you get an inch of water. So in our pots and stuff, you'd have to fill them 3 times. And what I learned later on down the road is that I'll get that pot nice and hot, and I can start filling it up, and it would just melt the snow instantly until you get to a certain point, and it just turns into a block of ice again. You got to start all over.
Yeah.
But it was how do I want to say it? A chilling experience.
yeah, Fox says he's right. He said Rolling Homestead is the first one up. It's right here.
What?
This one right here.
Yeah, I'm first one.
Video up in the series. So
We just wanted to come back, tell everybody, because I know the sad thing is we had 0 reception, internet, anything. You want to talk about being stranded? Tyler's got he was lost because he had during the downtime. There's at night when you're sitting in the rack trying to stay warm, you can't check your phone, you can't check your messages. Very rarely we hit a spot where we could send something, and me and Justin were trying to put stuff on Instagram, and it would the next day that we put it up, it finally loaded up. So
yeah. It was just at the random time you just start it. You know it's not going to go through right now, but a couple days later, all of a sudden you get a notification or something. And
Fred, that's the other thing too. I've never seen this before. It was so hard to get anything to burn that the pine would burn, but it was so quick and so fast.
well, you know what? It makes sense to me because you guys you got so much rain that froze immediately. So the rain soaked into the logs, and then it just froze, and it never dried out because it just got covered with snow and it was frozen. And some of those logs we picked up were just saturated; they were soaked.
Yeah.
Once we put them by the fire, they dried out. Pine was the only thing that really burned, but it burned so fast. We just had to keep going and get more.
Then we also had the thing where you be out there and all of a sudden you're trying to get this fire to warm up and you're throwing logs in and nothing's working because we can't get anything in the smoke because everything you're burning is wet. So that smoke coming around. So you'll see a video of us what we did to take care of that issue.
Yep.
I think what do we got? We got total. How many builds do we got on this series?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, and you got micro builds within a build. The different things. I mean, you start. A lot of my projects spill over from one day to the next. And I embellished and I added on. And I made new. So.
And I made something Goliath, so you're going to want to check that out.
Donald Morris just said Tyler's still cold.
Yep. Like I said, the temperature where I'm at, we get negative 30, negative 20 degree weather, but it did not feel nearly as cold as like the negative 5 degree weather that we had here and negative 15 degree and all that. The bad part is I didn't have service, and I was planning on using my phone to show the temperatures throughout each night, but I didn't even have service to do that, and I didn't think about bringing a little thermometer or something. But you guys are gonna be able to tell in the mornings when we wake up, and even at night, or even throughout the day. Really, you're gonna see every time we talk, just our breath when we talk because it was downright cold. I think the first actual day out there, because we came up, we scouted out a day beforehand, and but I want to say it was like day one was like the nicest day that we had while we were out there, and we were actually so busy trying to get all of our stuff done that we dressed in layers, and by the end of our videos, I think we were pretty much down to our t-shirts before the nighttime had hit. I think it got roughly 20 to 30 degrees that day. And, to us, that was like a heat wave compared to what we've been through. So,
yeah. There was one day I was hauling logs up. I never could get stripped down all my layers. That one day I was down to my t-shirt and, base layer and just wearing that. But the next day I was doing the exact same thing, working hard, normally be sweating, but it was just like, it was so cold, like it hurt to breathe in and out.
Well, not only that, is that day, I mean, we were 15 below during the day, and then at negative 22 at nighttime when we were out there. So that one day it never got above zero.
Yeah.
The real feel is what we were watching. And that was just beating us up.
Half face outdoors. I want to say the cold here is wetter than what I'm used to. I think where I'm at, it's drier. I mean, it could actually be the total opposite. But I think with the cold weather and the dry cold weather, the wet cold weather and the dry cold weather, I think that makes a huge difference. Because, I mean, last year we had that polar vortex that came through that gave us some record all-time real feels of like negative 53 to negative 63 weather. And I remember I had to be out there in that for work. And even at that point, that wasn't even as cold as what it was here,
I think Fred's got it. He says it's all about the humidity. And when I looked at the thing, it was like 69% humidity that day.
The day that we showed up, I mean, the night that Tyler and I drove in, it was so cold. It was so damp and so humid that there was fog. I've never seen fog when it was that far below zero. I mean, it was cold that night. And then we woke up in the morning. Everything was just frozen and ice.
Oh yeah,
beautiful. So you got some awesome pictures at least, and I got some video footage driving to the spot. But man,
we'll be able to show you guys. I mean, you'll look around and it's like off that movie Frozen where she freezes everything, the trees, the buildings. That's what it was. Everything was just frozen over. And that's actually the day that we started our challenge. It actually warmed up quite a bit that day. And, you guys are going to see a lot of this throughout our series. Like I said, it was so rough trying to record in these kind of temperatures, dealing with, camera issues, not reading the SD cards because it's so cold, or your lenses are freezing up, batteries. I mean, I had about 12 batteries in my thick parka coat, and I had hand warmers in there, and even that wasn't enough to keep those batteries warm enough to record on. I think I did 95% of the stuff out there wasn't even on film because, I have a lot of footage, don't get me wrong. I could probably post each one of those clips for the next 2 years if I wanted to, but, there's a lot of stuff that I did miss out on, and projects building and shelters building and, stuff like that just because of that cold weather.
I felt so bad. Tyler was doing a build yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And every time he would go and just show you guys on camera, he'd walk over there and the camera would shut off. I heard you do that at least 5 times.
Yep.
Hey, Mike Swirl, good to see you.
Yeah, my drone, it has it says battery temperature too low, cannot take off. I had hand warm, pre-warm the batteries. Otherwise, the drone wouldn't even fly. So it was like, well, guys, here's a perfect time for a drone shot. Oh, we got to wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So there should be we're looking between probably 7 or 8 episodes on this one. There's enough for that. So watch out for those. They'll be coming shortly.
Yeah. I think I'll have a trailer up maybe next week. I don't know. I'm gonna highlight a lot of the really cool stuff, and if I can get it out by then, you guys can kind of get a good idea. I'll give you like a good 2.5 to 3 minute trailer on this, and then leave you guys in suspense for a while until I can get the videos up, because like I said, there's a lot of footage that
You've got over a terabyte.
I got over a terabyte worth of video footage, and a terabyte is 1,000 gigs, and about each video is around 20 gigs. So there is a lot of videos I need to go through, and make sure everything looks good, make sure that it's not out of focus, because I'm a real stickler when it comes to that. I don't really like using bad footage, even if it's the only footage I have. I'll just kind of put it on the back burner.
Justin checked his phone that day, and you were at 500. What was it, 516, or you're free?
No, I mean that's what my phone had. I still had. So I think the way that my phone compresses and I'm not shooting 4K. You guys shoot 4K? Yeah. So that's, you guys went through way more. I'm doing 1080 because it's just I don't really have the process. I don't think there's a huge need for 4K right now. You guys might disagree. That's fine. But
thanks, Fred, man. I appreciate it.
That made so I use substantially less. I mean, I probably use 400 gigs total.
Yeah, I'll check out Virtual Fred there, and I still have about an 8-hour drive back home after this. I will probably be leaving early morning, try to beat the traffic, and there's actually a blizzard coming in tonight. That was another thing. We ended it right before we are going to be having a blizzard come in with more cold temperature and more snow. And it snowed out there while we was out there too. It's just we didn't really recognize it until later on. We was kind of going through footage back here before the live stream, making sure if I have some clips that they don't have, they can. And vice versa. So I was watching one video that I shot where it was just snow coming down hard, and I was like, do you guys remember it was snowing like that out there? No? Well, neither did I. I mean, it was, it was so busy working.
We got a good one, too, because on a walk back, we're a half a mile from the truck, and Tyler decides to go down the slope on his butt. Because we're crawling down the rock face.
Not sure he decided that.
I don't think he didn't decide that. It was decided for him. But you get a little bit of it, and you see a lot of the stuff in the background because Tyler's on his butt sliding down the side of a rock ledge. So
I took some bumps and bruises on this.
I was looking when I hopped out of the shower. I'm like, that's new. Oh, that's new. Where'd that bruise come from? Where'd that one comes from?
I built so many things with that bank line, that tarred bank line, and it rubbed my. I just don't have like manly hands or something, but it's just like you're reefing on the trying to get everything tight, and I feel all these little scratches and scrapes and I don't know my hands.
Donald Morris, it's not going to take us months to get this footage out. We all have jobs to get back to and work those and try to edit, in some free time while still spending time with our family. And that brings me to one of the hardest things out there for me was being away from my family, from my wife and my daughter. My daughter ended up getting like a pink eye the second night out there. The only one who had good reception out away from the tree line was Merck, so I called home the first day and make sure, or I think it was even the day before or something like that, but I called and, that was being out there without no signal and, whatever else can go wrong too, so I can't wait to see them.
Fox, yeah, we got one roll left. That's from burning up what Justin brought, burning up what Tyler brought, and the 3 that you sent us. We got one roll left. So yeah, we got one left. And John's Travels, thanks for coming to the live stream. And yeah, we're back.
Good to see you, John.
Some of us are still trying to warm up, and some of us,
Are their beards longer? John's Travels asking. Mine doesn't get any longer. I've been trying. But I think Mark's is definitely longer.
Tyler got half of his ripped out, so you guys will have to go back and check that out.
Half my beard got ripped off. And
hey, Blake, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you.
These guys thought they heard some kind of Sasquatch yelling at night because that was me trying to get that beard or get that whatchamacallit off my face. So
Yeah, lots of good stories. For
Yeah,
sure.
it'll definitely be a very eventful challenge and series to watch. Yeah, you guys, there's some parts of it you'll be laughing, and the next part you're going to be going, oh, and
yeah, crazy stuff. I can't wait. I can't wait to get home, spend time with family. Probably work at like 1 o'clock in the morning till about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, editing and getting all my files in order. That's the biggest thing. I got, for some reason, all the files I put on my hard drive, they're just kind of, I got day 7 mixed in with day 2, and so going through, probably spending the first couple of days just rearranging all the files so I know what days to put them all in, and we're gonna start editing yet. But the trailer is gonna be cool. We're gonna have an awesome trailer out for you guys, and
Yeah, but not just one. We're all going to do,
Yep.
slightly different things
Yeah.
based on our
Grace,
adventure. So
you know what? We had the stuff out there. I don't think I went through a quarter of what we brought from the homestead here, because I brought some walleye out there. We never touched that. The chicken we tried to do, it was so frozen, you couldn't even unthaw it so that you could actually start to cook the thing.
yeah.
Justin's roast that we actually had to stick that up alongside the fire to try to get that to even unthaw. So we had food out there, but the part of it is everything is frozen solid, and there's nothing you can do with it. We did our best. I think we ate pretty good for considering what we did have.
yeah, there was at one point trying to make eggs with completely frozen eggs. I brought a couple squirrels out that I harvested from back home, and I thought, I just would skin them here, and they were frozen. We had to set those guys by the fire. There's a funny clip with that you have to watch.
You'll have to watch I think the egg video is going to catch a lot of people's attention, because that's funny.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, Fred, thanks so much for supporting. I appreciate you being subscribing to my channel.
I think what Tyler's when we were walking out there the first time too, when he kept on falling through the snow, because we didn't have the snow packed yet, was walking back and forth. So I went first, and then Justin was behind me, and then Tyler kept on sinking and falling in the hole. So he was a couple times we had to wait for him to catch up, because he was sinking all up to his waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Yeah, we did. We ate very well. We didn't eat store-bought stuff. We ate stuff that Mark, did, or that I harvested. Deer, whatever. I brought a lot of the meat. You brought a lot of the stuff that you had freeze-dried and things like that. But the goal of the challenge wasn't so much catch and cook, just because of the nature of it. There wasn't a season open that we could do, and so we just focused on building stuff.
Good to see you, Jason. Glad you could be here. And you know what it's really good to say that we finished the challenge and that we're done with it. I know for a fact, everybody's talked about this before, that there's parts of that we're going to miss, because there's some places that were out there that were just gorgeous. I mean, they picture perfect, beautiful, calm. I mean, those are the things you're going to miss. The friendship that was made that was out there is definitely going to be missed. But, we can pick up the phone and call each other, obviously, and when there's other ways to communicate. But I know that everybody's glad. They're going to be glad to be back home and with their families and stuff. But I'm sure in a couple of days from now, people are going to be like, I really missed I could have did this, or I know I wanted to get to that last hidden lake, and we just couldn't get there, and I wish I could have. But
I still had so many plans, so many things on my bucket list, and really the big one that I wanted to go away with is I wanted to leave Mark with an awesome permanent shelter that he could bring people to. I know that's a passion of his, a heart of his, to just be able to bring people out into the woods. And I felt like I did that, but there was still, even when I closed the door and I'm like, what, this may be the last time I see this camp. But man, I sure hope that at least the bones and the structures of what we created would bless a lot of people for a lot of years to come.
And Fox, he says one more time. I think Tyler has had his limit on cold temperatures.
You know, it was, like I said, it was a challenge, but I mean, you know, with these guys here and all that, I mean, it was just awesome. I wouldn't change anything that happened throughout this. You know, I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I mean, I'm very glad Justin got a hold of me, and I'm glad Mark was able to allow us to come out here and do this challenge, because it was, you know, it's one for the books. You know, this is the first time I did 7 days in this kind of weather, and I mean, it definitely took a getting used to. You know, like I said, it's cold out here. Yeah, they're back to what Mark was saying about, you know, when we get all back, we can't wait to get home. But as soon as we're at home in a couple weeks, we're gonna be thinking back like, man, I wish I was back out there. There's one spot that I take you guys to in every video, and it was my favorite spot out there. And you guys are gonna know why when you guys watch the videos, because it is just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I can already tell you on my way home, I'll probably end up starting to miss this already. So it was a fun time.
And there's a couple. You got to watch the videos, but I'll give you a little spoiler alert. There is a den. Actually, there's a few of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there someone home or not? That is the question.
Show up. We have all my digits. We got all five of my toes on each foot, so we're good. Tyler's not showing his.
Nope. Nope. You guys are gonna have to wait to see all that. So
might be missing a few things. And you got another thing, guys. You got to watch for. Watch for the person that gets a black eye.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll have to watch and figure out whose channel, because I'm not telling you, but someone gets smacked in the eye.
That person shouldn't have said what that person said, I think, huh?
That's kind of funny.
yeah, it was definitely fun. There has been talk about you know, maybe a season 2 to this, and maybe inviting, you know, maybe 1 or 2 more people along for the trip. Just, you know, late night campfire talk, and
I think though this time we should do it in the fall.
at least the fall. I'm shooting for summer here, but that's just me. So,
Is there anything you wish that you did out there that you didn't get a chance to do? If we answer that question completely and honestly, it might be too much of a spoiler alert, you know. But yeah, I'll answer the question by yes. Yes, I had a whole list of things that I knew I wouldn't get to everything, but I wanted to get to more than what I did. I just I didn't anticipate hauling wood to be such a time-consuming task. I mean, I knew it would take time, but when you
not only hauling wood, but you got to think about, you got to prepare the wood for the night. Every night you got to get up or during the day you got to cut enough wood for the night, and then it takes 2 or 3 days to figure out, okay, how much wood do I actually need to get through the night.
yeah.
And then you have the main fire, not only for the fires to keep you warm, but also you have the main fire that we were cooking on. So you think of all that wood that you need to use up and cut up. It was just crazy.
That's the thing too, is nothing's more scary, especially for me. Later on in the series, you guys are gonna know why you know, having enough wood was so important, because of what happened within that first 3 days. But yeah, I mean, nothing's more scary than knowing it's 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon and you have no wood cut for the night. That becomes a real scary factor.
Actually, Dragon, that's what we're talking about. Is season 2 is where that we can trap and hunt. The way the time frame came up for this one, it was difficult, and then it got close. Then the season ended for everything. So
there's a few things we could have trapped, but none of us have our trapper's license. And Wisconsin has very strict rules as a regard. I mean, compared to Michigan, I can hunt and trap in Michigan. You guys could come into Michigan, hunt and trap, and you know, get your tag and, you know, do that. But here, I mean, I looked into it. I would have had to go through a week-long training, take a test, do all sorts of. It was just.
And then on top of it, there's a first timer fee too. Yeah. So then you're paying the big bucks to be able to do that, you know. So we're looking for that dragon where we can actually either we're going to go over to up by Justin's and do a week up there, and then down to Tyler's or vice versa, wherever. But yeah, we've already talked about a season 2.
Whose question was that? Was there anything you wish that you would have? Oh yeah, Jason McDaniel. So I'm not going to give it away, but in here I've got a whole. This is my secret little book of ideas, and it's chock full of stuff that at some point on my channel I'm going to get around to. So if I didn't get it done here, you got to watch for some future videos. Or watch some of my past videos, because some of the stuff I've already done is in my past videos. So there's a shameless plug for Waypoint Outdoor Adventures, my secret little book full of ideas.
The problem, you think about it, the problem that we had is that you had to go down to find the wood, because where the camp was set up, they did a select cut. So most of the things that are up there now is prime trees. And then the overgrowth that was in there was just horrendous, because no one has been up in there. So everywhere you got to go is you have to go away from where the camp is onto the other side, and that's down in the cedar swamp, and that's where the pines and everything else is. And it was just brutal. Homestead Remembrance, thanks for coming in here. Sounds like it was a success. Absolutely, we're alive. We made it back. It's a success. That's how I look at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it all. That's actually the more challenging part about doing this challenge, is going back and sitting there and watching, all the footage from the drive. I started recording the drive up to get here at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It's going from that all the way up till even now, recording this live stream that's going to be part of this series, which I didn't turn my camera on. So, we'll help with that. There you go.
So yeah, guys, so what we're saying is this was all full of SD cards. So right now I have all these cards yet that I have to go through and put them into the hard drive.
Switch, yep.
So I have all these cards yet. And that doesn't count what these guys have on there too, because we have a lot of B-roll footage that you guys are not going to want to miss, because it is just gorgeous. You'll just have to go and trust me on it. There's some cool shots. The best shot of the whole thing is when Tyler comes screaming out of the swamp like a little girl. That's the best one. The tip I'll give you.
There's not going to be any actual video left for the rest of the shoot. Yeah. All the secrets are given away.
Yeah, lots of spoiler alerts here. Yeah, the hard part too is getting home and like, what stuff do you cut out and what stuff do you leave? And I'm actually got a long-term plan of editing a couple different ways so that I can actually just use different footage that I wouldn't normally use in a typical video. So. And then maybe doing some just strictly project builds. I got a lot of footage. I filmed maybe 3 hours of this one project I built. I'm not going to throw that on YouTube, but you're going to see in this series maybe 5 minutes, and then to get to the completion of the project. But later on down the road, I might release a full project build where it's just strictly that one project. You can see it from start to finish.
And me and Tyler were thinking about doing some kind of the silent ones where, and, doing that kind of thing, and just out there and just hearing the, some of the crackling from the branches. And, that's when it's cold, is when you snap a branch and that thing echoes all the way across the whole woods.
Yeah.
Or you just hear the trees popping.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're just frozen, literally frozen.
Well, I'm not 100% convinced it was just trees popping at the middle of the night. It sounded more like a knock.
Yeah,
So,
there was a couple times you wondered.
yeah.
Because it wasn't just one knock. It was a knock and then another somewhere else, another knock.
Yep.
And they happened pretty close together. So
Hey, Jess, good to see you. Jesse Cox is
Hey,
in the house.
guys.
you'd watch all 3 hours. Oh, maybe I'll do it just for you.
Who's gonna watch 3 hours?
Yeah,
Happy little.
there is going to be
happy
so
interested
much. There's so much awesome footage, so much. The one thing that I really wish I could have captured on film that I didn't is I think it was day 4. It was like when I started feeling really good about everything that I had going on. There was a massive bald eagle that just came flying right over top of me. And it was the one time I went down to the swamp area to harvest a tree. I already had enough filming of cutting, using my saw, using my axe. I didn't want to take all my camera gear down there because it's such a trike through the snow to get down there. And carrying my big old camera and a tree on my shoulder, I just didn't want to do that. So I left all my camera gear up there because like I said, I had enough of that recording done. You guys don't want to see, all 7 videos with 2 hours of just cutting down trees. So I left my camera back at camp, and this massive bald eagle comes flying over my head right up above, kind of right by our camp, but just off to the distance a little bit. And it was in perfect shot of being able to get a nice, good video of it, but I didn't have my camera, so that was one thing I regret not recording.
Homestead Remembrance, we are up north, so.
We are far north.
And some of the things, like the stories you're going to hear of like Justin said that he taped his way up here, and like we were talking about the last live stream before we left, Tyler ran into the same instances where you start coming over this way, and all of a sudden it's like, there's no snow here. There's just a little bit of snow here, and then you turn the corner, it's like, oh wow, there's snow.
Yep.
But we just wanted to come on for a short time. Like I said, we just got back. We got a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of videos, a lot of footage, and everybody's beat tired. I think this is going to be the first good night of sleep that we've had in 7 days.
I'm being forced to stay up right now.
Last
night was I didn't even wake up to stoke the fire. It was a little warmer. I didn't even notice. I woke up one time, middle of the night. I looked over because I used the black and white fire starter, the candle, the survival candle they have, and I just wanted to test it out and see how long it would actually last. It lasted at least 4 hours, but then I went to sleep and I woke up and it was like everything. Fire was out, that was out, and it was light out, and I heard Mark clanking around, and he's like, 8 o'clock or 8:30, and I look at my clock at my phone, and it's 7:30. But he was trying to get us out of bed, get us up and moving.
That's because the day before I slept in.
Yeah. We all
I think it's
turns.
more than day 1 or last day you slept in.
Consistently, Mark was the last one out of bed.
Yeah,
I would say pretty consistently. And I would hear, I'd wake up oftentimes to Tyler. And sometimes Tyler was the last one to come out of his cabin, but you could hear him in there doing videos, just all sorts of little. So I don't even know what he was doing in there. I'm excited to see the videos because I know he did a lot of projects. What? Oh.
You guys are going to have to wait and see.
I know. I'm going to have to wait and see. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. So, yeah, don't forget, all 3 of us, we're all going to post videos, and it's going to be completely different. It's the same adventure, but from 3 different perspectives. So,
I think the cool part here is, you got Justin, who's been watching my channel, and Mark, I've been watching, and he's been watching. And, just talking online, and we built this friendship, and, we had enough trust within each other to go out there in the thick, heavy woods where, someone could come up missing and no one would ever know about it. So, it was awesome. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah, you could lose somebody back in there, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys, I'm so thankful to have gotten to know you. You're good people, and it was a fun adventure. It's fun getting to know you even more. I mean, online is one thing, but it's easy to kind of just, not reveal your true self, or whatever. But like it just, when you spend a week with two other guys in the woods and you're freezing cold, and you're all relying on each other to get through to the end. It forms a bond, and it's just cool. So I appreciate you guys letting me be a part of it.
All right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you so much, and looking forward to all these videos, guys. You guys keep watching, and we'll be coming back to you real soon. You guys all take care. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless. We'll see you on the